Follow me.
Welcome everyone. Now before rally proper, we have here Singing for Change, who are going to give us a song.
Hello, we are Singing for Change.
We want the old white men who are standing in our way just to step aside. So our first song is by some people called the Raging Grannies. We have a bit of rage here as well. And you can recognise the tunes called Old White Men. Old white men, for one, playing illegal games with guns, with swords and civilians, suffering the pain. Everyone said never again. Then World War II, millions dead when they were through with soldiers and civilians suffering the pain. Everyone said never again. Old white men now feel free to begin a World War III. Tyrannical egos causing massive pain. Don't let them do this again. Every civilian and soldier too must be clear that we are through helping old white men or anybody else killed to increase their private health. Refuse to fight or to pay for any wars or weapons today. Just sit down on the ground and refuse to pay and shout out loud, no dead way! Shout out loud, no dead way! Can you hear us? We feel that our government are totally wishy-washy when it comes to the Middle East. And so we've written a song called Wishy-Washy. Wishy-washy government, afraid to be a war. A wishy-washy plan for the Middle Eastern war. And the rest, rocking up with wishy paint to cover with whitewash. They ask to comment on their plan, they speak a load of tosh. And decide within the word, they turn a blinded eye. They've washed the wish of the oppressed, no matter what their cry. Wish is all unwisely washed, for change we feel the need. We know with all their senses lost, the government's kind will be. Goodbye, goodbye to government and friends. Grumpy old Trumpy and Netanyahu.
very much, Singing for Change, and also thank you to Roy and the PSNA outreach team for their entertainment and touting for the rally. So, welcome to the rally, everyone. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the mana whenua of Kaitahu and the history of colonisation in Aotearoa. Right, so today's rally is No More Wars. It's part of the newly launched Stop the Wars Coalition initiative to address all wars as we see conflict spread throughout the world. Right, so now, before we begin, Morris is here with his bucket for donations for PSNA, and he'll be coming round, as will these other two people. And I'll hand over to Morris now.
Kia ora koutou, whala mai kon. It's wonderful to be here with such a fantastic team. Thank you, Kieran. The money that we collect today, just for absolute clarity, is spent here in Aotearoa, and it goes to organise these activities, and it goes to buy our flags, it goes to buy the publicity, things that we do, and goes to build this movement in large and small ways. So today, Liv is here with us and she'll be collecting, and please give a special warm welcome to Flora. It's her first time today. Look out for Flora and look after her. So thank you all very much in advance for the solidarity that you can give. I know that for some people 10 cents is a big ask. If you can do 10 cents, please do. Anything else up and above that is most welcome. Kia ora koutou.
Thank you, Morris. Right. So, and a reminder as well that there is a stall over here with goodies from PSNA. So please do support that. So, I'll start now with our first speaker, which is Donna Miles Mojab. She is a freelance journalist and columnist from Iran.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being here today. This is really important for all of us to support no war protests and carry on with what we are doing. So as an Iranian, I want to concentrate on what's happening in Iran. The pretext for this war has been that Iran is #1 state sponsor of terrorism in the world. That's a big lie. We know the #1 sponsor of terrorism in the world is the United States of America. It is the United States of America that has armed Israel to the teeth to carry out a genocide in Gaza. It is the United States of America that's enabled terrorism in the West Bank, the murder of Palestinians, the brutal bombings in Lebanon, and we really do need to keep an eye on Lebanon. There is absolutely no regard for human life and humanitarian law. Israel has carried out war crimes in the region, and if that wasn't bad enough, the United States started an illegal, reckless war in Iran that is opening shots where the killing of 165 schoolgirls, it's ended up killing civilians, it's destroyed civilian infrastructure, bridges, schools, universities, historical sites. This is terrorism, and the United States' hands are soaked in the blood of Iraqis, Afghans, Syrians, Libya, the list goes on. And it is not just the projection of military power that's causing terrorism, it's also economic terrorism in terms of maximum sanctions on countries like Iran and Cuba. Iran, despite being one of the most sanctioned countries on earth, has managed to prevail against two of the strongest military powers in the world, Israel and the United States. It is done so because Iranian people are smart, highly educated, strategic, competent people who believe in the big conviction that the country deserves to have sovereignty and independence. And this war is against Iran's sovereignty and independence. And it's precisely because of this pool of talent inside Iran, women and men, that gives lie to the claim that Iranians are unable to bring the change that's needed in the country without foreign intervention. That's a big lie. We can bring change, we have brought change, and we can do so if Iranians are left alone, if sanctions are lifted, if the middle class in Iran are able to breathe, if civil society is able to thrive. This is what we need. Leave us alone. America needs to get out of the Middle East. Peace in the Middle East is possible. It's not unachievable. Israel needs to end its occupation of Palestinian land, and America needs to end its imperialism. And what about the New Zealand government? How shameful it was to see Winston Peters standing next to Marco Rubio.
Boo!
Soon after Trump made those tweets threatening the extremists of war crimes, wiping out an entire civilization, ending a country in one night, taking it back to the Stone Age. How shameful. And we have a MAGA prime minister who stood there silent, who has not spoken out against this illegal war. We need to do better. We need to pay attention to politics in this country. We don't want American billionaires here. We don't want the toxic MAGA politics here. And we need more accountability. We need to understand what's happening about this opaque mineral agreements that New Zealand government is involved with. We need to understand what's happening with NATO. What are they doing talking about expanding into Asia Pacific, the P4 countries that New Zealand is part of. NATO is no longer a defense pact. It seems to be a projection of American power, and we don't want to have anything to do with it. We need to ask for our politicians to grow a spine, show more courage, to stand up for what is right. America is destroying the international rules-based order, and this is bad news for middle powers and countries like New Zealand. We've got a proud history of standing up for international law, and we should carry on that proud history. Thank you very much. Free Palestine, long live Iran, and Kia kaha New Zealand. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Donna. Now, is Aurora here? No, it doesn't look like it. So, our next speaker would be Paul Watson. Right, Paul is the former First Union Secretary, and I'll hand over to him now.
Thank you. Kia ora koutou, everyone. Look, thank you for being here. Look, we all share one goal,
and that wars need to stop. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Have you had enough of the suffering?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit old. What was that? Have you had enough of suffering?
Yes.
Right. Have you had enough of the illegal bombing and invasion of sovereign nations?
Yes.
Have you had enough of the genocide and warmongering rhetoric?
Yes.
Enough of the billion-dollar munitions industry promoting war over peace and profit over people?
Yes.
Enough of the unchecked, unhinged global leaders using military might to take out any country at any time? Have we had enough of this?
Yes.
Yes. Damn right we have. So it's time to amplify our opposition to war, and for us to join together with others across Aotearoa who have also had enough, and work out a plan of action to bring even more people to become active in all kinds of ways. Sitting on the sidelines is no longer an option. If any one thing was ever a call to action, it was that deadline imposed by Trump's threat of genocide to end the Iranian civilization.
Shame.
And when you think about that, given the number, the 91 million people in Iran, and the vast size of Iran, there was only one way that was going to be achieved: by evening. Wasn't hard to work out, was it? They were threatening to use nuclear weapons. There's no doubt we have to act. Our regional, national and global anti-war protest movements need to keep building and broaden, so more support is exerted on nation states to move attention towards peaceful resolutions and away from the current tacit or direct support of unjust wars happening around the world. Solidarity among sectors such as trade unions, peace and disarmament groups, human rights groups, churches, iwi, aid agencies, etc. need to deepen and broaden, and we all need to play our part. We have a collective ability to really make something significant happen and pressure government to find a backbone and adopt a truly independent anti-war foreign policy. That not only upholds the principles of international law, but promotes a more peaceful existence of people on Earth. I know this collective action is possible. We can do this. My union experience tells me power of the collective, the power of the people is much, much stronger than one individual. And my life experience marching with thousands of Kiwis against the war in Vietnam, opposing the racist 1991 South African rugby tour, that mass movement made a difference. So it can be done. We also know that governments can have a backbone, as it did in 1985 when we stood down, we stared down the USA and declared New Zealand a nuclear-free zone, banning US nuclear-powered and nuclear-armed ships. Also, 2013, we staunchly opposed the 2003 US-led invasion of Iraq. So let's keep building the anti-war movement, and I'm looking forward to being on that journey. Kia ora.
Thank you very much, Paul. And our next speaker is Kahurangi Carter, who is the Green MP and candidate for Christchurch Central.
No more war.
No more war.
No more war.
No more war.
While talking with you all here today, I am reminded that the power is with the people. And Katie Holmer shared a poem she wrote yesterday when protesting with Peace Action or Tautahi, and she has said that I can share a part of that poem with you now. How can hands build bombs by day and hold their children at night? How can laughter survive in the same mouth that signs on death? So I cry at protests, not softly, not privately, but in the open, where grief becomes collective, where strangers press shoulders together like we are trying to hold up the sky. What is the concept of war and the human cost of war? A few men decide to go to war, sacrifice young people and their futures, sending them to the front line. And if these young people get the opportunity to live past the war, the cost of their well-being is felt for generations. The human cost is too high. It is too much. New Zealand is a small country and we rely on international law to be upheld here in New Zealand and across the world. The people of New Zealand rely on our government to be brave and bold enough to stand with those they represent and the international community, not what they are currently doing, standing with the political powers of the USA and Israel. These wars are geographically far away, but the cost of war is being felt here at home. We've all felt the rise in living costs, energy costs, food costs because of these wars, and it's our most vulnerable who feel it the most. Children around the world deserve to grow up. It shouldn't be a privilege. It is their birthright to live a full life where they thrive and have all the things they need. There are children here in Christchurch who are going hungry. And it is our most vulnerable who feel the effect of these wars the most. It's our elderly people, it's our disabled people, our poor people who already struggle to get the life-preserving medical supplies that they need that will suffer the most. They are faced with more uncertainty and it doesn't need to be this way. The human cost of war is too much. Our government needs to stand up to the political powers of the USA and Israel. The Green Party will continue to stand alongside you and hold our government to account to bring dignity and humanity back into politics. And you're all here today because you care deeply about humanity and the cost, the human cost of war and the environmental cost of war. Today, my wero, my challenge to you all is to recognise the privilege we have of being able to vote here in Aotearoa. And an action you can take today is to ensure that 3 people in your life are enrolled to vote, so that we can change the government, so that we can have a government who prioritises putting humanity back into politics and who stands up for human rights here in Aotearoa and across the world.
No more war.
No more war.
No more war.
Mōri ora.
Thank you very much, Kaharani. Now, we're going to have our last speaker here before we march to the corner of Cashwell High, where we'll have a few more speakers and some more music. So now, could I welcome Jeremy, where are you, Jeremy? Dr. Jeremy Moses, who is a lecturer at Canterbury University.
Kia ora koutou. It's great to see people here still coming out, still protesting. I think we've learned a lot in the last few weeks. I think probably a lot of you knew these things already, but really the futility of war, the wastefulness of war has been on show like never before over the last couple of weeks. And it's a lesson that we need to absorb, and it's a lesson that we need to impart to our political leaders, because it's really clear, as the previous speakers have already said, you've already observed, not just over the course of the war against Iran over the last few weeks, but over the course of the genocide in Gaza over the last few years, is that our political leaders and our media do not understand the futility and wastefulness of war. Just last week, the United States chose to blow up well over $500 million New Zealand dollars worth of their own aircraft because they'd gotten stuck in the sand in some kind of operation that they were trying to carry out in Iran, on the territory of Iran. Over $500 million blown up with bombs that cost probably tens of millions of dollars more than that, along with all of the supporting costs to have those people there in the first place, all of the cost of the ships that carried them there, the logistics that support all of this. This is an obscenely wasteful exercise. And what we are seeing, instead of political leaders moving away from this obscene waste and destruction and failure, repeated failure over and over again, is that they want more and more of it. So the New Zealand government talks about spending billions of dollars more on the weapons of war. And to what end? What we see today is a failed United States, a failed Israel. They feel like they're powerful because they are killing people, they're wasting lives, they're wasting energy, they're wasting resources, they're wasting homes, and they are achieving nothing. And if our political leaders are unable to look at this and reflect on this failure, this monumental waste of resources, then we are going to continue to have to keep coming out and reminding them day after day and week after week that we do not want our money spent on this nonsense. As I was walking up here today, I heard the great song, Edwin Starr's 1970 song, War, What Is It Good For? 3 parts to that. The question, war, what is it good for? The answer, which we know, absolutely nothing. And then the demand, say it again. We're going to have to keep saying it again and again and again until our political leaders get the message. War is good for nothing. We don't want to continue paying for it. We will stay out on the streets until this ends. Thanks a lot for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Jeremy. Now, before we get moving, I would like the people with the banners to move to the forward part of the march. So there's another banner in there, so we need some people to grab that too.
Yep. I can carry that.
Okay. Now another thing is we need someone to lead the chants. Is there anyone here who would like to lead chants today? Yes, sir.
What is that?
She's messaged. I'm just waiting.
No more war! 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 Come on, guys, you can be louder than this. Give me your heart, give me your gusto. No more war! No more war! No more war!
Aotearoa stands for peace. U.S. crimes must now cease. Aotearoa stands for peace. U.S. crimes must now cease. Aotearoa stands for peace. Israel's crimes must now cease. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere. Regime change is a lie. More civilians shouldn't die. Regime change, what a lie. More civilians shouldn't die. Regime change, that's a lie. More civilians shouldn't die. Regime change is a lie. More civilians shouldn't die. Trump and Bibi, you should know. To the Hague, you must go.
You must go.
Trump and Bibi, you should know.
Trump and Bibi, you should know.
To the Hague, you must go.
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 To the Hague, they must go.
To the Hague, they must go.
No more wars. No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars.
No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. Ceasefire now. 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 No more wars. 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 Aotearoa stands for peace. U.S. crimes must now cease. Aotearoa stands for peace. U.S. crimes must now cease. Aotearoa stands for peace. U.S. crimes must now cease.